The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning and good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are once again on a Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning in London at 1 a.m., 3 a.m. in Israel, and it's 9 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. Tokyo is having breakfast by now, right? Welcome aboard once again. The name of the show is called Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan. I'm going to be with you for a whole full hour. We meet here every Thursday at this time, and we get together with a little talking and having a whole lot of fun. And the conversation spreads not just with me, it goes to you and everyone else. And I'm going to tell you about that, how you can get involved, because we want each and every one of you to get involved in the show, because that's why we call it Talk Back Live. Now, we're going to be here, as I said, for a whole full hour. And in this hour, we got a lot of things to talk about. And you can put your 2 cents in. And if you are one of those people who have been with us all of these years, following us, we thank you so much for all of these years being with us. Give me time to chat with the people who may be possibly new to the show. Now, if you are new, we start the show this way. This is how we start the show each week. I start off getting conversation going. And that doesn't mean because I put out a conversation piece that we're going to linger with it for the whole show. No, that's not the case, because you can throw it in as well. And you can do that by using your keyboard on your computer. If you have anything to talk about, all you have to do is just stroke the keyboards, type it right in on your computer, which is laptop, desktop, maybe your, I don't know, your telephone, right? You can watch on that as well. And of course, your tablet too. And I will see you right there on the big screen. And of course, if you have anything to say, I will acknowledge it. And we'll save it for conversation piece, because what's important to you is important to us. And if you have anything important to say, of course, you'll put it out there and we will entertain it for you. And that's just as simple as that. And a lot of people have a lot of different things to talk about. We talk about just about anything, sports, relationships, I don't know, anything you want to talk about. It's free and open forum. And of course, it's all up to you. So get ready and get started, and let's do this thing together. As I said, for a whole full hour, it's all a conversation. Now, we're here, for those of you who are new, on 3 different platforms. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. And of course, any one of those 3 will get you there. Okay. And of course, you could keep telling your family and friends about it. That's what we want you to do. And if you're watching us for the very first time, especially if you're watching us on Facebook, right? We want you to take the time and tag this show. You can tag the show right now as we speak. You won't miss anything. It takes a matter of just tagging it and sending it to maybe, if not all of your friends. Maybe you have too many friends to do it. And as I always say, if you're here for the first time and you come back again and again, each week you come back, tag a few more, and just pick out your best friends, start with that. And because the more the merrier. Now, if they like what they see, they like what they hear, they'll come back again and again, just like you. And we hope that they do that. And we hope that you do that. Keep spreading the word, just tag them all. And let them in on the action as well. For those of you who are watching us on YouTube, all you YouTubers, well, I always encourage you to take time to go to my YouTube channel. You're there right now, of course, if you're watching us on that. And what we want you to do with that is to take time and subscribe to us. Now, as you can see, All you have to do is just take your mouse, drag it over where it says subscribe. You see it right down. It's in black border, and in white print, it says subscribe. And the only thing that you have to do is just click onto it. No, there's no charge. There's never a charge here for anything. It's just a matter of just your little bit of time. It's not even a second. Just drag it over there and click onto it, and that's it. Now, the reason why we want you to do that is because I say time and time again, we want to keep up with everyone who's following us and everyone who's following the show and who's here. We keep account of all of that, and that helps us out a lot, because the more people who subscribe to us, the better we are, and we can get more listeners that way as well, and viewers. And so we want you to do that. The second reason is from now on, since you've already subscribed, did you? You just did, right? Okay, since you already subscribed, from here on in, when we come on the air live and you happen to forget about the show, but you happen to be online, you get an instant notification letting you know that we're on the air live. And the only thing that you have to do is click onto that instant notification, and it brings you right there, and you won't miss a thing. See, that's the benefit of subscribing to my YouTube channel. First of all, the important word, it's free. It's free, no charge, nothing. You don't have to have a doctor's note or a note from the teacher or anything like that. It's all you. As long as you're over 18, that's all we ask. Be over 18. If you're under 18, well, I just hope that your parents or your guardian is around to monitor you while you're watching. Not that we say anything crazy here, because we try to keep this a family show. Well, at least as much as possible, right? And so if you're over 18, that's better off, okay? So that's what we want you to do, subscribe to us. And for those of you who are watching us on Instagram, you don't have to do much. All you have to do is just keep passing the word on to your family, friends, and relatives and letting them know that we're out here, and they can be part of the show as well. So that's all it takes. And so subscribe to us, watch us on YouTube, Instagram, and all of those marvelous places. That's where we are. Now, we got that out of the way. The other thing that I want to tell you inside the show as well, we also do our personal thing to keep the show going. That's something that we do all the time as we get things going. First of all, later on, not too far away, as a matter of fact, within this half hour of the hour, we're going to call on Brian Camp. Brian Camp is coming along, and he's going to bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports. Brian comes out of Charlotte, North Carolina, so yes, we can link up with him. You'll get a chance to see him on the screen, and he'll give us the sports action. We've got a lot of sports to talk about, so we'll save that time when he comes in. And if you have any questions that's sports related and you'd like to ask Brian, you can do it live as he comes in. And you'll see him right there on the screen. He'll be there, providing you're watching us on either Facebook or YouTube. You'll see him on the screen. For those of you who are watching us on Instagram, you won't get a chance to see him because we're not set up that way to put him on screen. But you could hear everything he says. That's the only difference. The only difference. Otherwise, you could still do the same thing as everyone else is doing. You could ask questions, and you could talk to him live as well. And what he doesn't see, of course, we'll pass it along to him as well. So we look forward to that. And again, look forward to all of your conversations as you come in. So there you have that. Sports in just a few minutes from now. Later on in the program, too, we have this thing, what we call This Day in History. And I have a laundry list of a lot of things that go on this day in history. Now, we know that something happened on this day in history. And in this case, it's May 15th. We're in the 15th of May. So we're halfway down the line in the month of May, and something happened on that day. So we have that list that's coming up for you too. And before the show is over, of course, I go into the vault of Turner Classic Movies. You know, I like to do that because I love those classic movies, all right? Because I know that this weekend is probably the only thing that you get throughout the whole, the only time that you get to be relaxed and be to yourself, right? Okay, so with that being said, in conjunction on the other things that you like to do, maybe you want to take a little time and catch up on some movies you haven't seen before. Now, that's where I put my 2 cents in, all right? Because each week I go to Turner Classic Movies and I select movies that I think are well worth watching, you know, those classics. And I do that each week. So I have a few of those coming up. And of course, you guys are resourceful anyway. You'll find your own entertainment, but I just like to throw that in each week, So that's coming up right throughout the show, and we look forward to having you guys stick with us for the entire show. Okay, remember that all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, Talk Back Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinions of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Zoom, Instagram, or any other social media outlet. Okay, that you watch us on, or broadcast facility. All right, we like to keep the disclaimer going because we are totally responsible of what we have to say. Anything that we say, we are totally responsible for, right? And I think it's a good idea, So, and just in case something you may disagree with, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the same thing for Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or wherever you're watching us. Doesn't mean, it's just our opinion, all right? So we clear them from all of that. Anyway, we thank you so much for being along with us and for this whole full hour. And yes, it is May. It's the merry, merry month of May, and the weather is getting warmer. Summertime is coming up. Before you know it, the hot weather is coming in, and in some places, the hot weather has already seeped in different places. I was watching the news today, and I know certain parts of Texas, they're up in the 90s. They're scorching hot. Now, I've never been to Texas. I know some people have been, and they told me about it. They say, it's because the first thing that comes to mind is Texas. I always envision Texas. It has to be desert there, right? Just wide open spaces, I'm told. This is not necessarily desert as if you go to, let's say, Las Vegas or somewhere in Nevada, someplace like, or maybe even someplace in California where there's desert land there. It's not like that. They say in Texas, it's wide open spaces, but not really desert. But it does get hot out there. And I'm told that the temperatures go up there to 90 degrees. And some places, you can go really above that. If you go to Nevada, if you go to Arizona, someplace, believe me, when the summer months come in, the temperatures shoot right up there. And I've been to Vegas when it was 115 degrees. It could be more for all I know, but I've never been there when it was any higher than that. But even 115 degrees is hot. Now, if we had that kind of weather here in New York, we would die. We will be sweltering and if the humidity is high, we will be sweltering because you have 115 degrees and humidity. And if that's high too, I mean, we're just dead ducks. So we don't get that kind. So far, we haven't gotten that kind of weather. Maybe sometimes close, near, but like I say, if you go to those places where you get that kind of weather and it's desert land, remember that in the desert, it doesn't swelter too much because there's very, very little humidity out there. Okay. So, but we take everything in stride here. Anyway, yes, the weather is coming up, and the weather and the summer summer months are coming up. So we look forward to the summer. I know I'm totally looking forward to the summer. I want to say hello to all of you who are watching in. Mary from Brooklyn, New York. Good evening to you. She checked in with us, and she's watching us on Facebook. And we have other people who are coming in. Hopefully, they'll get a chance to talk to us too. We'll talk to you too as well if you want to chime in conversation. I see you all when you come in. It's just that I won't say anything to you unless you say something first, because out of respect, we would like to let you know that we just like to respect you, because a lot of people, they don't want to be put out there like that unless, of course, they do it initially on themselves and they come out and they want to, talk. But we do invite you to talk to us. We do invite you because I would love to get out there and to address all of you personally. I love to do that. Okay, in this month of May and all of May, we'll be celebrating Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Or you could just actually say Asian American Heritage Month. All right, however you want to phrase it, it's right there. And that's what we're celebrating all month long. And for those of you who are in the Asian community and maybe you have celebrations or something that's happening and you would like us to know about it, please, we want to celebrate with you. All right. We actually want to celebrate with you. So give us that information. You can give us some history, or you can talk about your experience growing up in Asia if you're no longer there and you're here in the United States, or if you're still there, and let us know what's happening out there. We would love to hear from you. So, as we celebrate Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, we want to celebrate all and enjoy. Also, what we want to celebrate too is Jewish American Heritage Month. That's right, all month long, along with Asian American Month. We're celebrating Jewish American Heritage Month. So it's the same thing. If you have anything that you want to talk about, if you have events that are coming up that you think we should put out there, please let us know. We want to do that. We want to celebrate. I celebrate everything. I'm so cultural, I could puke, but we celebrate everything. And so we want to celebrate along with you. Now, we want to take time to salute our military men and women, because also this whole month long is National Military Appreciation Month. And I got to tell you, I do appreciate all of my brothers and sisters who are in the military and who are there now, who have been there, and who have aspirations to be there. So we want to just let you know this is your month too, that we look forward to acknowledging you. That's National Military Appreciation Month. Now we want you to check your blood pressure, because all month long too is it's a blood pressure, National Blood Pressure Education Month. All right, you be educated about that. It's very important. And even as you get older, it's even more important that you keep that blood level down to a certain place where you could avoid strokes and things like that. All right. So that's what we're acknowledging too. You can't make this up. Okay. You can't make this up. It's National Chocolate Chip Day. So I don't care if you're just eating just plain chocolate chips or chocolate chip cookies. It's National Chocolate Chip Day. All right. So have your chocolate chip days on me and keep celebrating. Okay. All right. Actress Denise Alexander, best known for her roles in General Hospital and Days of Our Life, has died last Saturday. The executive producer of General Hospital, Frank Valentini, took to Instagram to share the news and offer condolences to Alexander's family. The post was accompanied by a carousel of photos of Alexander's career right throughout her years, both on the screen and off the screen. Fans were quick to share her sympathies as well, and she was 85 years old. Country music singer Johnny Rodriguez, a sorry, so caught in the throat. He's a popular Mexican-American singer, best known for his top charting hits of the 1970s, such as I Just Can't Get Her Out of My Mind, Riding, The Thumb to Mexico, and That's the Way Love Goes, has died. Rodriguez died last Friday in San Antonio from health complications. Rodriguez was named the most promising male vocalist at the 1972 Academy Country Music Awards, and his debut, Introducing Johnny Rodriguez, was nominated for his Album of the Year in 1973. More than a dozen of his albums and singles landed on the top 10. He was 73 years old. And as promised, we're going to go over to Charlotte, North Carolina now. I promise you that. And I always try to keep my promises, because Brian Camp is with us right now with the latest developments in today's world of sports. And I must say, if you have any sports related questions for him, please feel free. He's here right now, and he's going to give them to you out in Charlotte, North Carolina. We just got over a lot of rain here, Brian, and we've got more rain for the weekend. What do you have?
Well, we just got over a 3 to 4 consecutive day of consistent heavy rain. So
I thought
today,
so.
yeah, today has
You-
been fully the first day in a week that we had no rain or no threats of rain. But it was hot today. It was real hot. Like right now it's 79 degrees, but today's high was 85 and humid. So,
Mm.
but yes, I know some people on social media who's in New York right now, and for like the last couple of days they were in the rain dancing in Union Square Park. So it was a graduation, but yeah, it's been pouring in here, and now now you're getting the rain.
Yeah,
So
and you know something, rain doesn't stop New Yorkers from doing anything.
nah.
You know, and you notice that when the parades come into town, whatever parades come into town, and there's a threat of rain, they go out there and do it anyway. They'll come out there equipped. They'll have their little rain gear, the plastic coverings over their head and over their body.
hmm
New Yorkers, they're very they don't care. They'll do it.
New, New York is a very resilient people where they will,
Absolutely.
they could deal with anything. I remember in 9/11, you know, we got knocked down pretty hard there.
Mm,
But we got back up and it was during the World Series and they had to stop play for a while and they got back up and resumed baseball. Uh,
hmm.
It wasn't during the World Series, but later on during the World Series, I believe it was the Mets and the Yankees that played for the World Series in 2001. But
Yeah.
there was a stoppage of play throughout the nation. But New
Hmm.
York is right there. I mean, it happened right there in the heart of New York City. New York
Hmm.
is, that's the only time I could remember. Excuse me, that was the last time I seen New Yorkers and people of all races and generations get together and become as one. We don't get that. So sometimes it takes, I hate to say that, it takes a catastrophe to occur in order
Yeah.
for us to get together to become as one.
Yeah, and I remember everybody who weren't patriotic suddenly becomes patriotic.
That's right.
And I've seen people, they hug each other. And as much as I hate to say it, like you just said, it takes something like that to bring people together. But when the smoke clears, sometimes we forget about it and go back to
Yeah.
where we were before. I just really wish that wouldn't happen.
It basically reminded me of the disco era back in the late 70s. The disco era is probably one of the shortest eras, but the most compelling eras where it brought people together.
Yeah.
I've been to some of those clubs in those eras, Studio 54, where you had Latinos, you had whites, you had blacks in the same club.
Yep.
It's
That's right.
amazing. It's
That's right.
amazing. So so it was. So I'm glad that we got together, but we need to do this without any more catastrophes or
Yeah.
like January 6th. That was one of the worst days in US history, but
Yeah.
but we
Well,
got to do better.
I'll tell you something. If this what we're going through right now, this is a good time to start. This is a very good time to start.
Yeah,
Yep.
I agree.
So grab your brother and sister, hug them, let them know how much you love them. This is a good time to start it with everything that we're going through right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. But
Yeah.
good evening, good afternoon, good morning to wherever you are, maybe around the world where you're tuning in. I'm Brian Camp coming in live from Charlotte, North Carolina, where it's presently 79 degrees. It was high today at 85 degrees, hot and humid. But it was really a day that where we needed, you know. I don't know if all that rain really paid off because with the humidity, it seemed like we was back to square one, but we needed that rain. I mean, the grass is greener now. I mean, the flowers are blossoming now. So let's see what happens. But yeah, there's a lot going on in the world of sports. We're in the middle of the NBA playoffs, where we're down to coming up to one, two, three, four, five teams left. Um, right now, the Knicks and the Celtics are going to play game six. Six teams. We got six teams left. They're going to play game six tomorrow at the Garden, the mecca of all arenas around the world. The Knicks and the Celtics is going to be Hollywood in New York City. All the stars are going to come out. You're going to see Spike Lee. You're going to see a former New York Knicks, Walt Clyde Frazier, with one of those glamorous suits, Tracy Morgan, and you're going to see John McEnroe. You're going to see a lot of celebrities out there because the last time the New York Knicks won a championship was back in 1973. And the last time they'd been to a conference final or going into it was not too long ago. Well, maybe in the mid '90s, you know. So let's see what happens. That's Game 6. That's slated for tomorrow. Tonight, you got the Oklahoma Thunder will go against the Denver Nuggets. That's Game 6. So you know, still a lot of sports left to be played before we get into the Final Four of the NBA. The football schedules are out. Check your local listings, but I have a list of 7 games that the NFL is going to go international. Week 1, September 5th, the LA Chargers are going to be playing. The team wasn't announced yet. We're going to be playing in Sao Paulo, Brazil. That's going to be September 5th. Week 4, you got the Minnesota Vikings, your Minnesota Vikings, versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. That game will be playing in September 28th in Dublin, Ireland. And the next week, the Minnesota Vikings again. They're going to be going to London. You know, they're going to be playing against the Cleveland Browns on October 5th. So the Vikings are not going to see U.S. soil for a couple of weeks, at least 3 weeks. So they're going to be in Europe. Week 6, they got the Denver Broncos are going to be playing against the New York Jets. That's going to be in London. Um, Week 7, the LA Rams are going against the Jacksonville Jaguars in London, in Wimbledon Stadium. That's going to be October 19th. And then week 10, the Atlanta Falcons are going to be playing against the Indiana Colts. That's going to be in Berlin, Germany, in November 9th. And the last one, week 11, the Miami Dolphins will be going against the Washington Commanders at Madrid, I should say, Spain. That's going to be November 16th. So the NFL is going international. They're going to be live streaming. Someone's going to be on Netflix. Some going to be on Prime Video. Some may be on some other live stream. We'll get into that later on as the season get closer before it gets started. Major League Baseball, Pete Rose. Well, guess what? Pete Rose passed away. Is celebrated by the Cincinnati Reds the day after baseball career hits leader removed from the Major League Baseball permanent ineligible list. Yes. So he's no longer banned from Major League Baseball, even though he's gone from us. He died in September 2024 at the age of 83, who played for the Reds for 19 of his 24 seasons, winning 2 of his 3 championships, World Series championships with his hometown team. His career was tarnished by a gambling scandal that led to a permanent ban on August 23rd, 1989. Now, an investigation commissioned by Major League Baseball conclude that Rose, a 17-time All-Star who finished his career with 4,256 hits, repeatedly bet on the Reds as a player and manager of the team from 1985 to 1987. Rose, along with another player, Joe Shoeless Jackson, uh, will be eligible by a small special committee to be in the Hall of Fame. They're going to have to vote, of course, so they're not going in automatically. They're going to have to vote starting in 2027. Joe Jackson, who died back in 1951, was involved in Major League Baseball black scandal for taking a bribe in the 1919 World Series. Let me talk about this here a bit. You know, I never been to the Hall of Fame. Hopefully one day I will go. But a lot of close friends of mine who've been to the Hall of Fame shows Pete Rose video, his posters, his pictures all over Cooperstown. But yet they used this man for what he did was wrong. Don't get me wrong. What he did was wrong. He got punished. He deserved to be punished. But don't be a hypocrite and use him for money when he was trying to make money because you used him to make money. Major League Baseball should be ashamed of themselves. They should be ashamed of themselves how they treated this man. Yes, he did what he did was wrong. He bet illegally. Yes, he did. But don't be a hypocrite by using him for certain events to gain money from him because of his name. Do the right thing. Put this man in the Hall of Fame. I could go on and on about this here, about this Pete Rose, but time is limited, so I won't go into too much of it. But Major League Baseball need to stop their BS. They should really stop and let this man go in along with Joe Shoeless Jackson. Now, Joe Shoeless Jackson died in 1951. Why in the world did how come you didn't reinstate him after he died in 1951? You waited 75, 74 years to reinstate him. Are you kidding me? And Pete Rose, you used this man? This is why baseball is having a hard time getting back to where they belong. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. This day in sports, May 15th, 1912, Ty Cobb rushes to a heckler at a New York Highlander game and is suspended. Yep, he was suspended. 1918, the Washington Senators, Walter Johnson pitches a 1-0 victory in an 18-inning game. See, back then they pitched until their arm fell off. Man pitched 18 innings. 1938, Buck O'Neill, one of the Negro League's great players of all time, makes his debut playing for the Negro League baseball team called the Kansas City Monarchs. 1981, Harlem Globetrotters appeared on Gilligan's Islands on the air on NBC that was in 1981. 1989, the Toronto Blue Jays fired manager Jimmy Williams, replacing with Cito Gaston. Cito Gaston became the first black manager to win a World Series. Happened 2 seasons later, and he became the first black manager to win. He replaced Jimmy Williams. 1991, President George H.W. Bush takes Queen Elizabeth to an Oakland A's Baltimore Oriole game. I wonder if that was his date. Makes you wonder. All right, well, okay, we won't get into that. But it was some freaky stuff there. Why would he take her to a game? Anyway, 2019, Edwin Jackson, pitcher, takes the mound for Toronto, record a 14th Major League Baseball team. 2022, Pittsburgh Pirates win 1-0 over the Reds despite getting no hits. That's possible. Sometimes you get an error, a walk, throw an error, and the run score. 1-0, no hits. Birthdays on this day, 1953. Happy birthday, George Brett, Major League Baseball Hall of Famer, third baseman, World Series 1985, MVP 1980, was born in Glendale, West Virginia. 1956, Dan Patrick, ESPN sportscaster, was born in Zenville, Ohio. 1967, John Smoltz, Major League Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher, World Series winner in 1995, and 1996 Cy Young Award winner, was born in Warren, Minnesota. 1969, Emmitt Smith, NFL Hall of Fame running back, 3-time Super Bowl champion and Super Bowl MVP, was born in Pensacola, Florida. 1970, happy birthday to Desmond Howard, wide receiver, 1991 Heisman Super Bowl champion in 1996, was born in Cleveland, Ohio. And happy birthday to, in 1975, to Ray Lewis, NFL Hall of Famer linebacker with 2000 Super Bowl MVP, 13-time Pro Bowl, was born in Bartown, Florida. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a hot, muggy day here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina.
What year was that he took Queen Elizabeth to the baseball game?
That was in 1991.
1991.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, how many people get to date the Queen? That would have I would have considered that an honor.
And how many
Maybe
and how many could like take her into another country, into your own country, and take her to a baseball game.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought maybe. Well, it was in America when she was there because I was thinking, maybe after the day she could have took him back to Buckingham Palace for a nightcap. I, I,
Yeah, I don't think her husband at that time would have liked that, and
he was
I
like,
don't think President
really
Bush's wife would have liked like that either. Well, who
but
knows?
I'm pretty sure it was honest. I'm pretty sure it was honest. It was a guest, and Queen, been all over the world, so it was honest. Let's put it that way.
Listen, no, listen, no, no. Anything is possible. Okay, anything is possible. Maybe he felt her thigh at the game. Who knows where the cameras weren't looking? So who anything is possible.
I'm so glad I'm so glad I put a disclaimer on this show.
Yeah, not starting no rumors, but you just don't know.
I'm going to rope you back into Pete Rose. I know you said you didn't want to talk about it, but I'm going to rope you back here because I always said that Pete Rose should have been in that Hall of Fame. And I said that when he was alive, and I was hoping before he died he would have been in that Hall of Fame. And like I said, it's like I'm glad the possibility of him getting into the Hall of Fame is good. I'm glad that's happening, but I'm also kind of angry that it took so long. Just like you said, it just takes so long. Why all of this time?
Because these baseball writers association of America, they are full of it. They hold grudges. They hold personal grudges that have nothing to do with their own personal life. But
Yeah.
yet, I thought this. Let me say this here. I thought we live in a land of America of second chances. That's what I thought of this great country called the United States of America. But we got people in this country who hold grudges for little nonsense stuff. I mean, maybe it wasn't a nonsense stuff because he did what he did was wrong. He betted illegally. Yes, he did. He was wrong, but he
Mhm.
paid the price. So you're
Yeah.
gonna wait till after he drops dead, after he dies, to reinstate him? Are you kidding me? Oh my
It's
goodness!
it's just like your parents when they chastise you for doing something wrong. They're not going to hold it against you for the rest of your life. They're just going to say you do it again, and you will pay the consequences. But he paid the consequences, you know. But I will say this too, as much as I want Pete Rose to get in there, I will say this too. If you're going to do it for Pete Rose, then I would like to see people like Barry Bonds and uh,
Alex Rodriguez,
Alice Rodriguez and
Roger Clemens.
I was going to say Roger Clemens, the Rocket, get
Yeah,
in there. Now they were accused of juicing, getting an edge, but you know, like you say, everybody should be forgiven. Everybody deserves a second chance. So we should work on that too. I'm just saying.
yeah,
I'm just saying. If you're going to do it for Pete Rose, which I hope they do. Let's do it for those guys who made a big contribution in baseball as well, who did things that they shouldn't do. We all do things. All of us do things we shouldn't do.
exactly,
Except some of us just keep going back and doing the same damn thing over and over again, which is not good, you know.
exactly.
But all of us we do that.
Yeah.
That's about it. The Yankees, by the way, are resting tonight because they got a big weekend coming up. They're going to be playing the Mets.
Oh yeah. Isn't
Let's
that
go,
something?
Mets. Let's go,
Mets,
Mets. Let's go, Yanks.
Mets and Yankees tomorrow.
Yep.
Knicks and Celtics tomorrow.
Yep.
Ooh wee.
It's going to be a whole lot of sports. And you know something? The both teams, the Yankees and the Mets, both teams are in first place in their respective leagues. With the Yankees 25-18 on the year, and the Mets 28-16 on the year. They both in first place. So we have to see what happens.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
now that Met Yankee game is it going to be in the Bronx or in
it's
Queens?
going to be in Bronx. They're going to open up in the Bronx.
Oh man, traffic in the Bronx
Yeah.
at 161st Street
Yep. And River
and
Avenue.
Math and 8th Avenue and 7th Avenue and 34th Street, Madison Square Garden. Oh my goodness. Friday's rush hour is going to be so horrific. It's going to be, oh my goodness, it's going to be
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. That's Friday.
Yep.
Uh, but even the weekend, it's going to be jam packed over. You're talking about two New York teams, which they do each year. They get together each year and go at it. And that should be one of those things that generate a lot of great money for the city.
Mhm.
Which is like when they do the World Series, if the Yankees and the Mets, let's go for it. Let's try it again. They're both in first place at the moment. Well, we can't. We're not going to get ahead of ourselves because the season is early,
Right.
but they're both in first place at the moment. So we'll see what happens. And if that ever happens, if they ever have a Subway Series for the World Series, that's going to generate a lot of money for the city.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
that's what's going to happen. Okay. We'll catch you back here tomorrow. No? Yes?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to let you know tomorrow morning. Got a busy schedule tomorrow, but we'll see. If not, I'm gonna send the stuff over anyway. And and then if I'm not here tomorrow, then you could blast Major League Baseball about Pete Rose and give it to
Yes.
them. Give it them hard with a straight chaser, no chase, raw.
Absolutely. Oh,
Yeah.
and by the way, Mary says, let's see what happens with those Knicks on Friday.
Yeah, Mary. Listen. If I was in New York, the best place to stay home and watch go back and forth between the Mets and Yankees and the Knicks and Celtics. Madison Square Garden, Yankee Stadium. It's gonna be crazy. Tune in.
I'm just going to watch it on TV. I dare not go out there.
That's right.
I dare not go out there. Hey, maybe they'll uh, put up a barbecue pit and just like before the game, like they used sometimes they do, but we'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll see. We'll see.
Okay. We'll look forward to hearing from you. If not, we'll take care of you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Take
You
care,
take care.
everybody.
Have a
Bye
good
bye.
one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And of course, hopefully, let's keep our fingers crossed because I like it when he comes in because I don't want to talk sports by myself. Of course, I won't be talking by myself. I could talk it with you as well. But it's always good to, for a professional person that knows about the sports even more than I do to chime in and get in there. So hopefully we'll look forward to seeing Brian on the coffee hour tomorrow morning. We'll tell you more about the coffee hour later on in the program before we go off the air. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. We're talking back live. We want to say hello to all of you who have just entered. And if you're just entering now, you're a little bit late, but that's okay. As long as you're here, that's the most important thing. We love for you to be here. And if you have anything to say, please feel free. It's open forum here, and we would love to talk to you. Okay? Just as simple as that. So now I think it's about that time to go back in time and on this day in history, in 1980, 1928. Remember that year? Oh, that was a long time ago. 1928, Mickey Mouse made his first ever appearance in a silent film called Playing Crazy. On this day in history in 1954, KGLO, which is now KIMT TV, Channel 3 in Mason City, Iowa, a CBS station, broadcast for the first time. On this day in history, 1957, evangelist Billy Graham launches his crusade in front of 18,000 people at Madison Square Garden, New York City. On this day in history, 1963, the fifth Grammy Awards. I Left My Heart in San Francisco goes to Robert Goulet. On this day in history, 1963, folk singer and folk singing trio, Peter, Paul, and Mary, win their first Grammy for the cover version of the Pete Seeger's song, If I Had a Hammer. On this day in history, 1967, Paul McCartney meets his future wife, American photographer Linda Eastman. On this day in history, 1972, assassination attempt on U.S. Governor George Wallace of Alabama by Arthur Bremer. That happened in Laurel, Maryland. And back in 1981, George Harrison releases his single All Those Years Ago in the UK. 1992, the New York department store chain Alexander's, remember them? They announced their closing of 11 stores. Back in 2023, Martha Stewart is Sports Illustrated oldest ever covered model at the age of 81 years old. I saw that. I remember she looked hot on there. If I'm allowed to say that, I don't know. Anyway, she appeared in as a part of the swimsuit uh, issue. On this day in history, in 1905, actor Joseph Cotton was born in Petersburg, Virginia. He died in 1994. In 1909, actor James Mason was born in Huddersfield, Yorkshire, and he died in 1984. Former U.S. Secretary of State Madeleine Albright was born on this day in 1937 in Czechoslovakia, and she died March 23rd, 2022, at the age of 84 years old from cancer. In 1938, singer Lenny Welch, with his hit Remember Since I Fell for You, was born on this day in New York City. In 1952, actor Chaz let me see, I'll do it in syllables, Palminteri, who produced the film Bronx Tales. He was born in the Bronx in New York City. He's 73 years old today. In 1965, director Martin Scorsese weds Lorraine Brennan in New York City. Back in 1970, actor Christopher George weds actress Linda Day in Palm Beach, Florida, until his death. And in 1993, actress Jane Seymour weds actor James Keach, and they got divorced in 2015. In 2015, former Spice Girl Jerry Halliwell weds Kristen Horner in Bedfordshire, England. In 2021, pop singer Ariana Grande weds realtor Dalton Gomez, and they got married in Montesino, California, and they got divorced in 2023. Country singer June Carter Cash died on this day in 2023 at the age of 73 years old from complications of a heart surgery. She was born June 23 in 1929, and she was born in Maces Spring, Virginia. In 2007, TV evangelist Jerry Falwell dies at the age of 73. The same year, Yolanda King, the daughter of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., died on that same year, and she was born in 1955. And finally, in 2020, comedian, actor Fred Willett dies at the age of 86 years old, and that's what's happening on this day in history. And if you know anything that happened on this day in history that I didn't mention, because I don't know everything, and sometimes we bypass things, or let us know what it is. We'd like for you to be part of the show by getting, because I do depend on you for a lot of things, right? And one of the things that you can provide us with is if you know something that happened on this day in history. Or if you're a mind reader, you know what's going to happen on this day in history. On this day, here we are. It's May 15th, and here we are, 2025. Can you believe it? May is almost over. As fast as it comes in, it goes out. Okay? So there you go. Now, for those of you who want to get in touch with me, feel free, because I will not bite you. I will not harm you. I will only love you for it if you get in touch with me, because I have two sources how you can do that. I have an email address and a telephone number. And you could contact me by one of those sources. If you have anything to say, if you want to announce something here, you could do it. Let me give you the email address again. The email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled Allan. Very important. Prod is Prod. That's short for productions. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Now, if you want to get in contact with us, maybe you want to talk about the show, or maybe you want to suggest something that we should implement in the show, or maybe you just want to say hello. It doesn't matter. Anything at all. We just love to hear from you. That's what we want to do. We just love to hear from you. And keep all of the information wherever you go, preferably in your devices, your electronic devices such as your cell phone and your computers and things like that, where you can get easy access to it. All right. And just do that. So let me give you the email address again. Email is frankallenprod at AOL.com. That's frankallenprod at AOL.com. The telephone number is 641 715-3900 extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900 extension 467134. We look forward to hearing from you. I want to keep you updated on what's happening for all of you people, particularly who are going to be traveling for the summer. A lot of people are talking about it, and news come out every day about it. And whatever we learn about it, we want to definitely pass it along to you. Now, I would love to travel myself. I love traveling. I love going places, but people are kind of postponing their travel because of what's happening in the airports. You've heard about it, airlines, and particularly in our area here in New York City, the airport that's most being touched right now, and maybe it's going to spread on to other airports. We don't know. That's why we keep a good lookout on it. But over here where we are, Newark Airport. Newark Airport, as you already know, if you heard about it on the news, it's experiencing a lot of things going on. You have massive cancellations and delays because of fewer flights that are going out, fewer flights that are coming in, and people are wondering, should they use Newark to get out of here or coming in, flying out? It's all the same. And of course, they talk about the equipment outages that happen from time to time, and that's happened. There was equipment outage at another airport outside of New York City. I can't remember offhand, but it just happened. Either was yesterday or the day before, or maybe even early today. I don't know. But they had a outage problem. But what they're doing now, when they have these outage problems, they use a backup, and they're using equipment, ladies and gentlemen, that you don't know, that goes back to the 1970s and 1980s, and they're still using floppy disks. When was the last time you seen a floppy disk? I still have floppy disk at home, and I have data on it, or data, however you want to use it. I have it. Luckily, I took all of that and put it onto another source where I can get access to it, because you can't get access to whatever is on your floppy disk. But they're still using that kind of stuff on the equipment that they have today. It's going to take years and years before they update all of these things. So I just want you to keep in mind that keep an eye out. If you're going to still travel, keep an eye out on these things. People travel, unless of course you're paying extra for cancellation fees and things like that, which a lot of people don't want to do, because that's just as much as buying the ticket itself. So just keep an eye out on it. Just keep an eye out and decide whether or not you want to travel this summer. Just keep an eye and ear open. We'll keep you informed of a lot of things that come along. Okay. All right. I have those movies that, of course, I tell you about each week, of course. That being that the weekend is here or it's coming up, you might want to catch up on some movies. And I have my picks of the week from Turner Classic Movies, because I love those classic movies. How about you? All right. And this week I have 7 movies. So you're not going to be bored. You're not going to be bored because these great movies. Brian, if you're watching, the first movie I have right now goes back to 1949 with James Cagney, Virginia Mayo, and Edmund O'Brien. It's called White Heat, a copper. I was going to share 50-50 with a copper. That's coming on Turner Classic Movies at Saturday at 5 a.m. Now, that's early in the morning. You could always do what most people do if they want to watch it and they don't want to get up that early to watch it. You could DVR it and watch it later. All right. So that's White Heat. Musical-wise, 1968, Finian's Rainbow. I love this musical. It's a great movie with Fred Astaire, Petula Clark, and Tommy Steele. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. That's a great time to watch these kind of movies. And can you guess who's coming to dinner? From 1967, Spencer Tracy, Sidney Poitier, Katharine Hepburn, Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern. I just got finished watching that movie a couple of days ago, because I have it in my archives, and I love that movie. Guess who's coming to dinner? Frankenstein from 1961. Now, this is the original Frankenstein from 1961. Who plays Frankenstein? Colin Clive plays Frankenstein. Then you have Mae Clarke along with Joe Boyles. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's the original Frankenstein. Everybody thought he was a bad guy, but Frankenstein was really a friendly monster because he friended that girl. Unfortunately, he killed the girl, not knowing what he was doing. Anyway, that's coming on. Sparkle from 1976. Philip Thomas, Irene Cara, and Lynette McKee. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Coal Miner's Daughter. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. That's from 1980. That's Tommy Lee Jones, Sissy Spacek, and Levon Helm. And you can see that on Turner Classic Movies on Sunday at 4:45 p.m. Eastern. And last but not least, here's another classic. Oh, yeah, My Little Chickadee, 1940. That's with Mae West. Come up and see me sometime. W.C. Fields and Joseph Kalia. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday. You can watch it Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. My Little Chickadee. Yes, indeed. That's coming on. Now, those are all the movies for Turner Classic Movies. And now, if you would like, and I urge you to do that, go on Turner Classic Movies and go there and look at they have a list of other movies too. So you go to the program guide and you look at it, because some of the movies that I have here, I may not have mentioned, but you can find something that you may like that I didn't mention, only because these are my picks of the week. And you could put them on your bucket list of what to watch this weekend too as well, on Turner Classic Movies, And while you're there, on demand, you could also see all of those free movies. They have a lot of free movies from A to Z, and they go back a long ways. They go back to the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, and it's a whole list of them from A to Z, and they're right there. And also, you got the pay-per-view movies. Now, you have the movies that are in there right now, that are on screen right now. You have to pay a little more, but it's there, and you can watch it in the comforts of your own home, pop your own popcorn, roast your own hot dogs. It's right there. And of course, they have the movies that were once in the theaters that you could watch, pay-per-view movies. And also, you have all of those networks there. You can find out what's happening on all the networks. You have a lot of children's programs. You have, what else do you have? You have sporting events, which sometimes you can watch these sporting events the following day if you missed them live. Depending on what network they're on, you can find them sometimes without the commercial interruptions. All right. And then, of course, you have documentaries. I love documentaries. You can find the documentaries that you like. They're all right there. And a lot of things. And Lifetime movies. You like Lifetime movies? I love them. You can go to the Lifetime app and see what's there. So you got a lot of things to choose from, because a lot of people still have cable. So you can access all of these things. And of course, you have all of the great things that people like Paramount Plus. What else? Netflix. Everybody has those things, right? You have them all right there. And I think you'll like them. I think you'll like these movies I tell you about. So I'm going to repeat them one more time. So you could, it's White Heat, James Cagney, Virginia Mayo, Edmund O'Brien. That's on Turner Classic Movies at 5 a.m. Eastern. You have Finian's Rainbow with Fred Astaire, Petula Clark, and Tommy Steele on Turner Classic Movies at Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Guess who's coming to dinner with Spencer Tracy, Sidney Poitier, Katharine Hepburn, and that's Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Frankenstein from 1931, starring Colin Clive, Mae Clarke, and John Boyles, which is on Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. And you have Sparkle with Philip Thomas, Irene Cara, and Lynette McKee at Turner Classic Movies at 4 p.m. Eastern. Coal Miner's Daughter with Tommy Lee Jones, Sissy Spacek, and Levon Helm. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 4:45 p.m. And My Little Chickadee from 1940, Mae West, W.C. Fields, and Joseph Kalia. And that's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. I hope you get a chance to watch all of these movies. They're going to be great movies. And so there's so many. So you won't be bored for the weekend. Okay? Okay. So, and by the way, give me a note on my desk on Monday morning when you get up so I can see that you like them. Let me know how you like the movies. All right? That's all coming up. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for me. I had a good time. I always have a good time doing the show, and I have a good time talking to you each week and having a ball and doing these things, but I must go. But I will be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern for the coffee hour. And hopefully Brian Camp will be here. If not, we'll cover for him with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And we look forward to seeing you then, too. If not, meet us back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. for more of Talk Back Live. Brian Camp will surely be here for the developments of sports. And, of course, we look forward to seeing you as well. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a wonderful day, a morning, good afternoon, good evening, and by all means, pleasant good night, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host, Frank Allan. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant, Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer, Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.